thought I'd come on and do another video. I know there are some of you that have really, really short attention span, and this is not to be funny or try to be sarcastic or anything like that. It's just I know some of you just don't really have the time to watch really long videos. Well, this video is going to be kind of a long video, and it's basically telling you exactly who I am and why I say that I say I am. Now, I'm going to show some writing, and you can take your time and read it, or you can take a picture of it, or however you want to do it. But this is going to prove on who I say I am. And I haven't even told my best friend about this, about who I am. So because I feel that this person do not believe. I believe that this person do not have faith. But out of all the things that's happened to me in Satan's kingdom, and when I say Satan's kingdom, it means any place that is a bondage, whether it be jail, whether it be prison, whether it be the county jail, any place of bondage is Satan's kingdom, because this is where evil rules. This is the house of the devil. This is the house of the spirit of the demons. So I know many of you don't have very much time to sit. Like, you can always pause this video. I'm going to be nice. You can always come back to this video. You can always, reiterate, or come back and look. And you can always come back and look at the video. You can always do that. So I'm going to be nice about it, because majority of the time, um, I try to be nice about it, because people will watch my shorts. They will watch about the ducks. They will watch about the geese, and I'll get so many people watching about these things, but they won't watch something that is informational. If it seems like it's a threat, if it seems like it's negative, if it seems like, but the thing is that the excitement of the end times, the excitement of going home, the excitement of, being in the midst of bliss, being in the midst of the presence of the Holy Spirit, it's excitement when you get to the point to where you will not be suffering any longer or anymore. Like I said, there's a ship here waiting, docked, and ready to go pretty soon. So I'm going to show you some pictures, which means it's going to get silent because I'm going to turn the music off in a few seconds. Um, you can take the pictures if you like, um, and I will give you the stories behind it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it'll take too long for me to just, you know, it'll take too long for me to just show you throughout the video. And just, off and on with the music. I can't do that. So I want to be able to, um, I want to be able to, I want to be able to make it where you guys can hear me, um, and really get the grasp of what I'm saying. So here is the first one, and notice the date. Here's the first one, and notice the date on it. I'm gonna put it as close to the camera so you can read it, so you can see what it says, and notice the date. Keep that date in your head. Or you want to pause the video and go back and look and then continue. All right. Now here's the other one. Keep this in your mind, or take a picture of it, pause, look, and everything will align when I get done showing you and telling you exactly what's going on. All right, now I'm about to stop the music and I'm going to show you this. Keep these things in mind. All right, here we go. Here's the next picture I'm going to show you. See if you can see it. All right, now here's the writing. I'm going to get to closest to the phone. You want to take a picture of it. Okay, now I'm going to show you another picture. All right, now I'm going to show you something else. Here we go. Get as close as I can to the camera so you can see. Hopefully you can see that. Take a picture of it. Whatever you want to do. There it is. Now, there's a story behind everything I've just shown you. There is a story behind everything I've just shown you. Now, if you want to, you can take a picture of this as well. I'm going to make it to where you can see it. Okay. If you have to take a picture of it, pause or whatever, and then come back to the video, you can do that. So, now, I've shown you the reasons why I'm called the Messiah. So, one day in Satan's kingdom, I said to myself, and it wasn't to myself, it was actually, I was falling asleep. And I said, I will open the books. It was in between quakening state and awake. And it kind of actually woke me up after hearing me say that. I will open the book. Here recently, I don't know what date that was I said that, but I know it was probably close to 2022. It might have been 2022 when I said it, or it may have been at the end of 2021. I'm not sure. But at that present moment in time, I was in Satan's kingdom. At that present moment in time, since the end of 2019 in October of 2026. I'm sorry, October the 26th of 2019 is when I went into Satan's kingdom. So this was the time that I started studying the Bible because I spoke to the Holy Spirit. I asked the Holy Spirit. I wrote down many Bibles, at least 10 to 8, anywhere from 8 to 10 Bibles I wrote down, and the Holy Spirit said King James. When I got into Satan's kingdom, I asked the Holy Spirit which chapter should I study, and the Holy Spirit was specific that I should study the Ezra and I should study Ezekiel, and um, I should study, I should study. Sorry, I said that 3 times already. Um, Revelations. So these are the chapters I was told to study. Now, before all of this happened, when I had my awakening, I didn't know what was going on. There were strange things happening. Um, Things were moving. Um, it's just a number of things happened. But my very, very first vision that the Holy Spirit sent me, and it was a biblical vision. And I went to see this woman, and like I said in one of my other videos, that the woman said, I just hope you're on our side. And I just kept, when I was going to the bus stop, I just kept saying, I am no God, I am no God, I am no God. I kept saying it over and over and over again, over and over and over again. I just kept saying it over and over again in my head, over and over. And I got on the bus. I sat in the back seat, all the way to the back where the motor is, 2 seats from the window to the left. And then I just kept saying it over and over again in my head, over and over again. And then I moved up because I was getting close to my stop. And then all of a sudden, I moved up 1 seat from stepping out to the down to the back to the bottom floor, going out the back door. Sat 1 seat from that, from the step going down. And all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit sent me a vision, and I see people being pummeled by mountains and rocks. Before I got off the bus, I was in tears. And I called this woman. I said, I don't know what's going on, but I said, I don't want to kill people. I don't want to kill humans. She says to me that you just have to accept what you just have to accept that life has to restart itself again. I didn't quite understand, but she was the owner of the store. But she was the one that told me that I just hope you're on our side. Like I said before in my other video, someone says that to you, you must be a very powerful being. So I'm going to read something to you. Mind you, my reading is not that great. I am dyslexic, so I'm going to read something to you. Here we go. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. This was my very first vision that the Holy Spirit sent me. The very first biblical vision. I had no idea what was going on. At this time, 2017, I wasn't knowledgeable about the Bible. I didn't really read the Bible. I haven't even ever picked up the Bible since I was a small child. That was the last time I picked up a Bible, when I was a small child. But when I had this vision of these people being pummeled by rocks in the mountains, this was a vision that the Holy Spirit sent me. This was my very, very first biblical vision that was sent to me. Because I told the Holy Spirit to take the wheel, take the stirrups, lead me, guide me, mold me. My life is with you to do what you do as you will. So, and that was in 2017. Matter of fact, I think it was May. It was May 11th, I believe. No, May 10th. I'm sorry. May 11th, I left and came back to Texas. So I go on to say that signs were being shown to me over and over and over again. And I really didn't know what was being shown. I really didn't know what was being shown. I didn't have a clue what was being shown, but the Holy Spirit was showing me the whole entire time. I just didn't understand what was being shown to me. So another thing that really got me was when I was in Satan's kingdom and I had an lucid dream. And I heard my mother's voice saying, "Forgive me, Lord." And as she walked past me, she looked right at me and she gave me this really weird look. And then here recently, last year, this was 2022, I was out of Satan's kingdom. The Holy Spirit pulled me out of Sodom and Gomorrah. Only time you really get moved from a place is if you're doing lewdness behavior or if you're doing fighting or, you know, smoking or, you know, doing or selling, you know what, or even hooch or whatever, you know, illegal narcotics, so to speak. So, in YouTube, this will be put as adult, not children, just so you know. But here recently in no December the 13th, Friday the 13th of December, and I think I showed you this already, but I'm gonna reiterate again anyway. So on 2024 of December, Friday the 13th, I heard the God voice, really heavy, real deep, said, "Now they're open." And the first thing coming to my subconscious is when I was in Satan's kingdom, in between Quaking Estate and Awaken, I said, "I will open the books." In this dream that I had before I heard, "Now they're open," was in the dream I saw like levels, like as if you go turn up a volume on a on a radio or whatever, but you see the lights go up to from yellow up to red to orange, green, and it will go up. Well, I saw this twice in two different dreams. When I saw that, I woke up and I went back to sleep and I saw the same thing again where it went up again. And then I went back to sleep. The third dream is when I heard, "Now they're open." To me, I seen that as being keys opening up a door. I seen the volume thing as so far as the lights as they go up like this as keys. So then I heard that word, you know, now they're on the third time I went to sleep. I heard, "Now they're open," in a deep, deep, heavy. I'm gonna put it in your terms. For me, it's the Holy Spirit. For you, I heard the deep God voice. I mean, super, super deep. Now they're open. And the first thing came to my subconscious when I heard that was, when I said I will open the books. And this is when I was in Satan's kingdom. And it was in 20 2021, late 2021, early 2022 when I said that. But I believe it was late 2021 when I said it, because we moved from one tank to another tank, and that tank that I was in before I was out, um, I think we were in that tank for about 6 months, 5 to 6 months. But so these are the words that I spoke. So then I said, Holy Spirit, if you're trying to tell me what I think you're trying to tell me, no, before that, I'm rushing up ahead. I'm rushing too far ahead. Okay, so after I seen that on that day of Friday the 13th, we all feel that Friday the 13th is a bad luck day. But then when I did show you this was the reason why I showed it to you, because on Friday the 13th, I also received that as well, which it says the date on it. I did not expect to get this. You know, your potential will look limitless. So when I saw that, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This was on Friday the 13th. But beforehand, I was looking for amulets. So I went into Amazon and I started looking for amulets. And I was looking at the Mjolnir hammer and other amulets that had things on it that I could not make out, what they are, what they mean. So I tend not to get things that have symbols and writings that I cannot understand and that could quite mean something that is really not mean what it meant to say. Um, because that's how the world is. They will have you representing Satan and you not even know it. So I tend to get things that doesn't have, they're plain. They don't have anything on them. There's no designs. There's no, you know, you go and look up Google, you Google it, you'll see designs and you'll see what's Satanism and you'll see what's Christian, you'll see what's Egypt, you'll see what's all these different signs. But you never know what the signs that you may wear may really, really mean behind closed doors. You probably wouldn't know what these signs mean. So this is where um, you would really have to um, pretty much be careful what you're doing or what you're wearing. So um, I'm looking for amulets, and as soon as I came across a lion, my left leg tingled. Which, when my left leg tingles, that means that the lion is, next to me. And the thing about the lion is that one day I was sleeping in my cousin's car, and there come a light being that picked me up, and I woke up right here in the third physical realm, hissing like a cat. When I go to Satan's kingdom, I draw two light beings on a piece of paper. The light being that I saw I drew, but I drew two of them, and they were connected by a tether. And right next to the lion, right next to the light being, there appeared in the shadows a baby lion. 1 week after I drew this picture, a man came in, swinging his arms, saying, "Get away from me, get away from me." So I sent a young man to go ask, "What is he swinging at?" Young man came back and said, "A 2 feet cat." And I said, "Go ask him, what kind of cat is it?" He came back to me, young man came back to me and said, "It's a lion." I knew right then that it was the lion that I birthed, that I brung into this 3D physical realm. It is the spirit of lion that's always next to me, standing next to me. A lion is always standing next to me. So on the day that I was looking at amulets, and this one amulet came up, and I knew that I was close. Excuse me. Oh man, I knew that I was close. So come the 14th, because before I had already been looking like a week before I heard the words "now they're open." I had already been looking for a week for amulets, and this is how I put it in as an amulet. So then the next thing you know, on the 14th, I see the amulet and my leg tingle, and I liked it as well. The lion liked it, and I liked it as well. And the next thing you know, um, before I can even read what the description was, before I can even read what the description was, um, the lion liked it and I liked it because it was not detailed, but it was a lion. You can see it. It had character, and this is what I was looking for. I wanted something that no one else has, and I didn't read the details. I didn't see anything. So when I did read the details was speaking um, about the book of seven seals. It was speaking about the root of David, the Lion of Judah. And I was like, what are the possibilities? I was like, what are the possibilities? And then on top of that, it's coming from Israel. This amulet came all the way from Israel. And I had such a hard time trying to get it. You know, people mailboxes getting broken into and everything. And I literally I literally put out a I don't know how to say it. Um, for if someone steals this, their hands will develop gangrene. If anyone had would have stolen this, their hands would have developed gangrene, and if they would have passed off someone else, it would have been gangrene on them. And if it went down the line, that's what would have happened. Because I put a I don't want to say a hex, I don't want to say a curse, but this was meant for me and me alone. But it's not just meant for me and me alone. There's other people that have it, but this was especially something for me because of what the Holy Spirit said. And you can also go back and look at it and see the writing on it and everything. You can see the description. So in the description, I'm not going to say what the description is. You can go and look at it yourself. You can pause the video and look at it. And I said to the Holy Spirit, if you're trying to tell me what I think you're trying to tell me, I said, I need you to prove it to me. I said, I don't care how you prove it. I need you to prove it to me. I need you to show me. I said, I don't care if you have someone come up to me and call me the Messiah. I said, I don't care how you do it. I said, but I'm not trying to tell you how to do it, but I don't care how you do it. Just please show me. If you really, if you're really telling me who I think you're trying to tell me I am, I say I need you to prove it to me. This was on the 14th. Now, 5 days later, I mean, 14 days later, I get this one. 14 days later, I get this one. And this one is your dreams will guide you to an important revelation. Now, think of that word revelation. The book of seals is in Revelations. It's Revelations 5 5. That's where the book of seals is. That speaks about the book of seals is Revelations 5 5. Now, to be an important revelation, to hear the Holy Spirit said, now they're open. For the first thing come to my subconscious is what I said when I was in Satan's kingdom. I will open the books. Then I said, Holy Spirit, if you're really trying to tell me who I think you're trying to tell me, who you trying to say I am, I said, I need you to prove it to me. And here, with this right here, and it speaks about your dreams will guide you to an important revelation. To open the books is very important because this starts off the end, the end times. This starts off releasing the four winds. This starts off judgment on the earth. This starts off opening the seals, start off everything. This is why I'm called the Messiah. It has been proven to me, and I said, Holy Spirit, there'd be no way I can disclaim it. There's be no way that I can say that that's not true. But how do you explain this? How do you explain this? Because it says important revelation, and it says tonight. But I had that dream on the 13th. And when you always think about past, present, and future, this is it. Past, present, and future. This also right here, your potential will look limitless. Past, present, and future. These things are to come. So this is why I'm called the Messiah. Not Yahshua, not Jesus, the Messiah. So now you know why I call myself the Messiah. And this one is from Turkey. Because of so much problems trying to get this, the man sent me the widow's mite. I didn't know what the widow's mite was about. But then when I did watch about the widow's mite, it was about a woman who didn't have money, who was not rich. For those that were putting money in the bucket, the heavier the coin was, the richer they were. This lady dropped 2 mites. And Yahshua, or if you want to call him Jesus, saw this woman drop 2 mites inside the bucket, but you couldn't hear it. But he said that she gave more than the rich man because she gave her last. So, how do you think I feel? Seeing that, receiving a gift of a mite. This man didn't know who he was sending it to. He thought he was sending it to my best friend. So how do you explain that? There's so much more can go on. So much more. The things that I've seen, the things I've witnessed in my dreams, that's actual facts that happen. Dealing with high, powerful people. People are not ready. You are not ready for what's hidden. I don't know how much more I can say. Just have your houses in order when it's time to go. Because I'm not waiting on anyone. The Holy Spirit knows who's supposed to leave. And if you're not on that ship, I'm sorry. Do the right thing, forgive yourself, forgive others, even if they're not in your presence. Forgive, 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 and let live and let go. This is the Messiah out.